And they were on the floor for how many hours? It was like at least 5, I think.
Yeah.
So he spoke twice.
Awesome.
He gave 2 speeches.
Then they were trying to go to the CBO office too.
And did they find
Oh,
that?
that was right next there.
They found the bill.
That was last night. And then today, he and Cory Booker and Chris Murphy
in the
got
car.
in a cab.
We
saw that. We saw that on
And
Facebook Live.
went to the CBO office. They found it, first of all.
The office, but not the bill.
Yeah, the office,
Uh.
but not the bill. I mean, they weren't expecting to necessarily, and clearly it's not CBO's fault that they can't disclose this information.
Why can't
they?
We do pay their salary.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
bill is actually confidential.
Yeah.
I mean,
Even to
Well,
other
that's-
senators,
To other members of
before it's
Yes.
released.
even to their bosses, the American people.
Yes.
Until it's released.
Yeah.
So
But do they even have a bill yet to
Well,
evaluate?
and we don't actually know if they have the whole bill.
We're not sure.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that our senators are going to participate in the vote-a-rama and get thousands of amendments to make them slow down their process until they do bring it to like a public hearing.
Yes, and Senator Schatz is going to participate.
Okay.
And he spoke about it on the floor
Okay.
last night. So.
Okay.
that's-
Any suggestion what would make that more successful?
Yeah.
Yeah,
what can we
yeah.
do?
Do you need more personal stories? Like, what is it?
Well, I mean, I think it's just over and over again, he keeps telling people to call. I mean, I think you've heard him say that we just need 3 Republicans.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I don't have any specific guidance for you as to which 3 you should
Okay.
focus on necessarily.
Well, there's a list of them all over
Yeah,
there.
there is.
It's on
Yeah.
there there's 7 actually, they say to focus on.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing that he keeps encouraging people to do at this point.
So do we call these 7 senators and say that we're their constituents? I can't lie. What do
If
we
you
do?
know people in those states, I think it's Alaska, I can't remember the whole
Yeah.
list, but,
And if you do not, then you can't do anything.
You can say you're a concerned citizen.
I mean, they're still impacting all of us, so. we should
Yeah,
be able to-
exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't have to lie.
Yeah.
Are there any Democratic senators you're worried about?
Not that no, Minchin,
No.
Minchin, whatever his name is,
Well,
West
there's
Virginia dude. No,
Donald
he's not gonna cave.
Joe Manchin.
Joe Manchin.
Yeah, no, he's not. Thankfully, on this issue.
Yeah.
And we'll have another Democratic vote after 6:30 tonight.
Oh, yeah, we're watching Georgia, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Hopefully.
North Carolina?
Well, that's not gonna help the Senate with the healthcare.
No.
No,
Right.
it'll help.
On the Russia things, do you guys have any information on whether you think it's likely that Trump is going to fire Mueller?
I do not have any information.
No.
No information, sorry.
Watch his tweets.
Is there, if he does do that, do you guys see like any actions that you'll be taking?
We have not discussed like that.
Okay.
I did want to comment on the CBO office visit.
Yes.
You know, one of the things that we're encouraging people to do is to be very loud and very vocal. And I saw that all over the news. It was very well represented. It was very loud. It was very vocal. So, you know, thank you. Kudos to the senator.
Yeah, I do appreciate that he's taking the lead on this issue.
Absolutely.
Organizing last night and the visit today.
Yep.
I am concerned, as a constituent and as an ACA user, because I'm self-employed, I'm really concerned about HCA because of pre-existing conditions, which I have, which is nothing but high cholesterol, but that's what they say is a pre-existing condition. And the subsidies that help me as a self-employed person buy my insurance. So those are the 2 main things. And my concern is if the AHCA goes through, do we know if the state of Hawaii is going to step up like they did on the environment and the Paris Agreement?
We don't know.
I would be looking for leadership from this office and Senator Hirona's office to relay that to the state. I mean,
But we
state
do
of
have a
Hawaii,
better- we do
state of
have a
Hawaii,
better
I'm not
plan.
saying they don't. State of Hawaii has a really good plan and they led the way, but even before ACA, I could not get insurance in Hawaii with my pre-existing condition. I was, I don't know how many times, well, there's 4 insurers I've contacted and I was
Right.
refused from 4. So that's a large concern for me, and I'm sure it's a concern
Yeah,
for most
lots of
people.
Yeah, prepaid health is the only way you're protected from discrimination on pre-existing.
Exactly.
Also self-employed.
Right. And I like being self-employed. I'd rather not have to find an employer to it in. And the other thing I don't understand, and maybe somebody has information they can give me outside of this venue, is wouldn't that make us more competitive for businesses if we offered insurance by the state for everybody, so single payer for everybody, like they're trying to do in California,
Yeah.
like they've done in Vermont? Doesn't that make us more competitive to bring businesses, the businesses don't have to pay for the insurance then?
Yep, that's what they do in other countries.
I know, why?
Well,
Employers involved in
Exactly, it's so weird that our employer, I've
The-
always thought that that would make us more competitive.
the other thing is, most businesses start out at small businesses.
Exactly.
And, you know, so if Steve Jobs had had a pre-existing condition, had he had high cholesterol, there would probably be no Apple computer.
Exactly. So, anyway, I just needed to share those thoughts with you folks.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the other talking point that we have is that while there's a lot of focus on Russia, the GOP is doing a lot to dismantle a lot of the elements
Totally.
that we have. So you have like DeVos, not protecting LGBTQ students, looking to overturn the defense to repayment rule of Obama, the Cuba restrictions that are happening. So what are the priorities in your guys' office and what actions are you taking?
Okay, that doesn't help when you guys are laughing about it.
No, I mean, you know, I
Everything.
think there is a lot going on right now, and clearly we don't have thousands of people on our staff, and we have one senator, and so, you know, his focus this week has been on healthcare, as I think we just discussed, and he's, you know, didn't really sleep last night because he was doing that all night, and then back at it again today.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how to answer your question in terms of what is our list of priorities in
Well,
order
I think-
after that.
I think we-
it's a better way to say that, you know, we are aware of all of the other things going on, and we are, you know.
Maybe another way to frame it is, when the budget process starts.
Mhm.
I guess healthcare has to happen first, because then they
Right.
can, if they got the healthcare bill, then they can balance their budget on the backs of everybody. That's why they have to do this, before they go into the budget process. But that's where everything's gonna get cut.
Yeah.
Everything, you know, so I think then, once, if the House and the Senate come up with a bill that makes cuts to the
Mhm.
budget, then we have a whole different argument to deal with, right? And I want to thank you guys for, Senator Schatz has joined with others to write a letter to get the Census Bureau to at least hire a director.
Yeah.
So they're on that, and it's interesting because I've been in touch with other indivisible groups across the country. And now their people are talking to Tremaine in your office, so and he's got a lot of information, so it's good. Thank you.
I guess I laugh because every week I approve dozens of letters on issues like, you know, rolling back protections for LGBTQ students and encouraging some national governments and corporations and NGOs to support the Paris Climate Accord. I mean, there's just any number of
Yeah.
actions that we take every single week.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm glad to hear that you guys are aware of it. You know, like there's a concern that they're just throwing so much out there, right? That stuff is going to go under the radar.
It is.
We send out literally dozens of letters to the administration, addressing that, putting ourselves on the record.
Thank you.
I just
Is
can't
that-
recall specifically what they are, frankly.
Yeah.
right offhand.
We've heard rumors and it's been back and forth. Have you run into Republican embargo about responding to questions from senators? I mean, we've heard yes and no, and what is your experience?
Early on, when the administration first took office, we definitely heard that they were not responding to congressional inquiries. And I think that was because frankly they were not staffed up.
Which is still the case in
Which is
a lot
still the
of-
case in a lot of agencies.
Yeah.
So, we are getting responses from some agencies. They vary in terms of quality and timeliness, depending on the agency. But they really are terribly short-staffed. They're just, they're trying to like starve these agencies out of existence.
Right.
But what I'm hearing is, your feeling is it's not a
Hard
directive
stop.
on top, from on top, not
Just
to
a
respond.
capacity issue.
I have not seen anybody specifically, I mean, I haven't seen anybody just flat out refuse to respond. The quality of the responses is not great sometimes, I'll say.
Can you keep us informed on that? I think that's an area that, again, it's kind of behind the scenes,
Right.
but this is where public pressure, I mean, this is a fundamental requirement of the Constitution, that
Right, yeah.
oversight. I don't have to lecture you folks on it,
Right.
but this is something we feel strongly that, you know, the executive branch has to respond to the congressional.
What, he represents the whole country,
Yes.
not just half the country, or not even half the country.
Right, 38%.
Yeah, there you go.
So we're following a lot of the news with Senator Schatz, and he has been in the news a lot lately, which is great. When these letters go out, like the dozens and dozens of letters that you reference, are those public in any way? Does he put those out on his
No, we don't
Facebook or
post
in any
them.
way?
No.
Would it be possible to post the information, or I mean, you might not wanna post the letter, but that it's happening so that we know that there's action going on these other issues, or is that?
I don't know, I mean, frankly, I don't know if we have the capacity to do that. Some of the letters are, that we sign on with other people, other senators, sometimes they're bicameral, sometimes they're just senators, sometimes they're just our office. Sometimes they are sent by way of, questions for the record following hearings.
For some of us who aren't as versed in this sort of stuff, how different are things right now for like your offices and the work you're doing than it was 12 months ago? Like, I don't know, you're sending dozens and dozens. Were you sending like dozens and dozens per year before, and now it's like dozens and dozens per week, or like?
It's something that we routinely do. It's just that, you know, some of the top topics of the letters may have changed. The tone of the letters may have changed. But that's, it's part of the way we do oversight, is sending letters to agencies, getting them on the record. So we did that during the Obama years as well.
I have a request from a woman who can't be here today, Maria Pena. She's Hispanic from Texas and Puerto Rico, and she has a lot of family on the mainland who don't have a lot of money. And not that we should do this, but they are tuning out on Russia. They want to know, where am I going to get a living wage? And so for them, it's all about the economy and of course immigration. But it was an interesting perspective to hear from her that at some point, I mean, obviously we have to stay focused, and healthcare is part of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she asked me to pass that on, that, and I think her purpose for that comment had to do with not just Senator Schatz, but the whole Democratic Party needs to answer that question. When am I gonna get a job that I can keep, that I can count on, et cetera, et cetera. And just passing that on.
I mean, that's a little bit why Trump won, right? It's
Right.
because he spoke to these people thinking
Right.
that he was gonna bring full jobs back,
Right.
and these people that were
Okay.
concerned about a living wage.
Right. But it was interesting to hear that her family is tuning out about Russia, and I'm consumed about Russia, but they're not. That's not relevant to what they do every day. So, isn't that an interesting perspective?
Makes sense.
Of course.
Anybody else have any more comments? No? All right, well,
Just,
thank you.
I'll actually just love to see him when he's like out with Cory Booker, going to the CBO
Yes.
office
Yes.
and on making the news.
Yeah.
Just
Talking to Wolf Blitzer.
yeah,
Yeah.
just
Love that.
the
Yeah.
visibility that he has.
Yeah.
Just tell him that we're behind him and that we notice that, and just to
Yes.
keep it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will let him know.
And I think Powell
Thank
mentioned
you.
that he got onto like the OFA emails that they're pushing out now, so.
That was what's got today.
Okay. So, she was basically saying that he's in the spotlight now with like Elizabeth Warren and Kamala Harris and all the people that are making waves, so it's awesome.
He's from Hawaii, of course he'll make waves.
All right, well, thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Thank you.